Hello everyone, today I just want to do a quick little banner review and talk about the new weapon banner coming in patch 1.1. I want to quickly go over the 4-star weapons, talk about their benefits and uses before getting into the real meat and potatoes of the 5-star weapons. For the 4-star weapons, in order we have Rust, the Flute, Fuvonius Lance, Eye of Perception, and Rain Slasher. Let's go over them in that order. First we have Rust. Rust is a great bow if you're planning on playing any archer as a main DPS. And it presumably will be a great bow for child, since it increases the damage of normal attacks while weakening your aim shots. With child, since a lot of your damage will come from your normal attacks, especially in your melee stance, in the melee stance you won't be doing aim shots, this could be a really good weapon for him. I personally don't see too much value in it as a bow, as yes, if you're running any of your archers as a physical DPS unit, this could be very helpful. However, most of the archers in the game currently I run with elemental support builds, and I like those builds better. And for those, I'll normally opt for something like Stringless. But if you build your archers for normal attacks as your main DPS, I think the Rust is a very good weapon. And probably will be one of the best 4-stars, if not the best 4-star weapon for child. Next we have the Flute. Again, this is a great DPS weapon, providing attack for its substat. This weapon doesn't really provide anything special, nothing to really synergize with. So if your main DPS unit is a longsword user or a sword user, this is just a good weapon for them to provide that extra bonus in attack, as well as the additional AoE damage with its abilities proc. But there's not really too much to be said about this weapon. Next we have the Fuvonius Lance. I think the Fuvonius weapons are all pretty weird. With these, you want to put them on a character that wants a lot of energy to be constantly proccing their bursts. However, at the same time, you do have to put it on a character who's built for crit rate, since this weapon's passive really synergizes with crit, since on a crit, you have a chance of getting energy back. So if you have a character, or if your Zhangling is built as your main DPS, and you want to have that Pyro Tornado up as much as possible, then yeah, this could be a good weapon. However, again, I think it's very weird, and I personally would never summon on a banner just for the Fuvonius Lance. And there's also not many polearm users to talk about right now. So Zhangling, it's alright. It's not her best weapon, however, it's really a decent weapon on her. Next, we have the Eye of Perception. Again, a good DPS unit weapon. So if you're using a Catalyst user like Ningguang or Klee, this really just can add more damage onto your kit already. Its ability is normal and charge attacks have a 50% chance to fire a Bolt of Perception, dealing 240% attack as damage. This bolt can bounce between enemies a maximum of 4 times. Yeah, so it doesn't provide anything new or unique other than a new form of damage with that bouncing bolt. So is your Catalyst user one of your main DPS? No? You don't need it? If yes, then this could be a decent weapon for them. Finally, we have Rain Slasher. Rain Slasher is probably the easiest weapon to be objective about. It increases damage against enemies affected by Hydro or Pyro. It increases damage against enemies affected by Hydro or Electro. It's really good at helping you fight Electro and Hydro slimes, as well as those world boss. Since the Electro world boss is always under the Electro status, any Claymore user you have this equipped to will immediately be getting that attack bonus. Similar for Hydro, since all the Hydro enemies you have to fight and the Hydro world boss all are constantly affected with the Hydro element, you would always be getting this damage increase against them. However, this weapon is really best used on Beidou or Razor, as those are the only 2 Electro or Hydro Claymore users at this time, and they'll be able to proc Electro on any enemy, allowing them to get that bonus damage on any enemy they want, instead of just hoping that the enemy's already procced with Electro or Hydro. Additionally, this is an alright Claymore to use on any of your characters if you have someone like a Mona support or a Facial support who will be constantly proccing the Electro or Hydro effect on the enemies. But really, you would only want to put this on something like Razor or Beidou, who's able to directly support their own use of it. To sum it all up, all the 4-star weapons are really great for DPS units, but there's nothing really there for your support units or your healers. Next, we have the big two, the 5-star weapons. Again, arguably both weapons are for DPS units and not really for supports or healers. First, we have the new Catalyst, the Memory of Dust. It's part of a new set of Geo weapons that are going to be coming out. I know this one's going to be coming out in this banner, and then when Zhongli comes out, I believe the Claymore and the Polearm are coming as well. And they'll all have the same passive since they'll all be part of the same family, really similar to the Skyward weapons as well. So the ability for the Memory of Dust is it increases the strength of your shields by 20%. Additionally, for 8 seconds after hitting an enemy, increase your attack by 4%, which can stack up to 5 times, so in total you can get up to a 20% increase in attack. You can get a new stack every 0.3 seconds while attacking. Additionally, it has another effect that while being protected by a shield, the attack buff is doubled to a max of 40%. The actual wording is that the attack buff is increased by an additional 100%. So yeah, we could assume that it doubles it from 20% to 40%. Currently, this has no perfect synergy with any Catalyst user, as at the time no Catalyst user generates their own shield. However, if one of your main supports generate a shield and your main DPS is a Catalyst user, this could be a good weapon. However, since it has no perfect match right now, for me it's pretty much a skip. Finally, we have the Skyward Harp, similar to Rust. This is a bow for a main DPS archer. If you don't play any of your archers as main DPS, if you haven't built out any of your archers for crit, and if you don't want Child, this whole banner is probably a skip. However, if you do want Child, and you are ready to crack open your wallet, and Child's going to be your main character, then yes, this is the perfect bow for him, as it does provide crit rate and crit damage. And looking at Child's abilities that we do have so far, we do know that you do want to build him for that crit, especially as his late game or end game build. It will be focused around crit rate and crit damage to be maxing out your Broken Flow passive, well, even in the melee stance. Honestly, I pulled this bow during launch week and was pretty upset at the time because I didn't have any archer I cared for. I mean, I have Venti and Faisal. My Venti's at 0 constellation, my Faisal's max constellation, and I just don't really play either of them as my main DPS. I didn't build any of them for crit. They're all built for elemental mastery, elemental recharge. So I just never thought this bow was going to be useful. Now seeing Child, seeing his kit, I'm super hyped to be able to use it on him, as I will be pulling for Child when he drops. Alright, but honestly, this banner is a pretty hard skip in my opinion. Unless you're just super wailing and want the best possible weapon for Child. Other than that, all the other weapons on this banner just provide additional damage for the most part, and are mainly used on DPS units, and I believe that there's other weapons that are better, other weapons you've probably already pulled in your previous wishes, so I would never go into this weapon banner. Again, unless I was wailing, going really hard for Child, and really want his best weapon, this banner is best to be skipped. Alright, that's all I want to cover for this banner. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as any interaction really helps the growth of this channel. Thank you and have a good day.